Guess I'll...
You can find Klaus on the second floor.
I'm doing stuff!
For Project Whisper.
Last light in England. Paris, September 17th, 1951. The stalwart resistance of the brave people of London has been quelled, claimed sources inside London, after the August uprising, which had seemed like a turning point for the resistance fighters. The German tyrants unleashed their latest machine of oppression. Monstrosity. Let's go with that. Thing called the London Monitor. Eyewitness reports described the fight as a massacre. Oh, this is all in German. With the cobblestone streets drenched in the blood of the brave resistance fighters, crushed or gunned down by a giant machine. German elite combat units that then proceeded to move from block to block, systematically taking out the last remnants of freedom fighters. That's sad. Well, these are all the people we're going after. Oh my gosh, really? Triumph in the East, Berlin, April 4th, 1947. It was devastating defeat for the Red Army when the German flag was raised on the western side of the river Volga this morning. In a statement to our reporter on site, Field Marshal Friedrich Ritter said that the victory is not only thanks to our hard-working and dedicated troops, but also the result of a new weapon that was developed for the first time in battle. The Panzerhund is a mechanical autonomous beast of war that cannot feel fear and cannot feel remorse. It is the purest form of killing machine, and it will tear the Russians apart limb by limb. Oh, so they were selfish and went with everything. Okay. Let's try and cover this whole side, and we'll go to this side. Huh?
Lord, all right?
I
don't know you, and I'm not looking to make friends.
Alright, F off. The Reds surrender. Moscow, December 12th, 1946. The cold Russian winter bites hard, but one could not tell looking at the rosy, smiling faces of the victorious German army and the liberated Russian people. The last battle against the Red Army took place in Iskvisk, following their month-long campaign to seize the Russian capital. A campaign which, after numerous setbacks and hundreds of civilian casualties, caused the Russian people to turn against their own army. With nightly bomb raids by German Air Force on the Red Army's military factories in the Ural region, it was merely a matter of time before the Russian forces would start to lose their morale. The murderous tyrant Joseph Stalin is yet to be found, but there are rumors circulating that he may have been assassinated by his own men. Joseph Stalin, my dude, you're dead. Joseph Stalin. Damn. Royal Air Force down, but not out. Liverpool. Sorry, that's for anyone who doesn't know, Liverpool is where the Beatles came from, so it's very... Oh, this is all in American. Liverpool, June 25th, 1945. The Royal Air Force suffered a major defeat yesterday at the battle over Liverpool. Though major losses were reported on both sides, the RAF were forced to retreat after losing more than two-thirds of their fighters. But even when faced with overwhelming odds, our brave boys in the skies continue to fight for king and country. This fighting spirit may be what I've seen that, but I don't know how to say it at the time. Very essence of Englishness. U.S. Englishmen, we fight until the very end, said a corner shop owner trying to put out a fire raging inside St. Louis Church. And I'll be damned if I will let some jury come here and tell us what to do? Was this man channeling the spirit of raft pilot Jameson, who was shot down above Liverpool yesterday, burst out of his burning wreckage, his body on fire, and armed only with a pistol, and killed 4 Nazi paratroopers before finally scrambling himself. No. Even as the enemy stands at our doorstep, the raft will go to hell and back to kick them out of England. Jolly good boys. Brigham crosses the Atlantic. Vancouver, January 3rd, 1947. Earlier this week, a German submarine was sunk in the Cabot Strait, just a few miles off the coast of Cape North today. Hundreds of ships crossed the Atlantic, and the first German troops set foot upon Canadian soil. Now is the time to be brave, and said the Prime Minister in an emergency radio broadcast. It's now or never. Our boys are on the front line, at the front line, need your support. Defend our homeland, defend our freedom. Did I read this one? I should probably read this one. Victory in Asia. Berlin, July 8th, 1948. Early Monday morning, a special assault team launched an attack at the last stronghold of People's Liberation Army. Within hours, the Republic of China surrendered unconditionally. Experts commended that the Japanese government now have no choice but to give up their territorial claims in Asia. Sources close to Field Marshal claim that a plan is being drawn up for both China and Japan, which will transition the two countries into servant states with separate governments and military. These states will, of course, be supremely governed by the superior German Empire.
Are you deaf? I'm busy. Fuck off.
Alright.
Jerk.
Jerk. That's an Epiphone. L. Does that say L guitar? I think it says L guitar. So, if so, that's a Mexican made. And a lot of knobs. Probably get different tones out of the two pickups. There's supposed to be a kill switch, but they didn't render it maybe. But yeah, it's supposed to be modeled after a Gibson, which was the exact opposite of what Jimmy had. I think Jimmy always used Strats, if I remember. Jay.
Captain, see if you can find it. It's
Shut up!
Project Whisper.
I want to look around! Okay. Moscow in flames. Stockholm, March 16th, 1945. The Red Army were forced to retreat last night from a Moscow influed by flames following a week-long German bomb raid. The barrage of mortar fire heard throughout the night and well into early Thursday morning seems to have obliterated what was left of the inner parts of the city. As of yet, there has been no word on the whereabouts of either Joseph Stalin or his high command. Extra. Prisoners escape Eswald. Berlin, October 13th, 1960. Early morning, a small group of prisoners escaped from Eswald prison. Prisoners were described by the police as highly dangerous murderers, rapists, and degenerates. They were advised the public to stay alert for people displaying deviant behavior and report anything that may help them track down these individuals. Finally, the British trainery comes to an end. London, June 21st, 1948. As if blessed by the sun, the German flag hung high this morning over Buckingham Palace. Really? To mark the end of the monarch, which has played the English people for centuries, Field Marshal Griff Findebung, who led the British invasion, cautioned that army resistance is to be expected, but the majority of the British people will soon realize how they have been fooled by the British government's warmongering leaders. Following the surrender of the whole of the Commonwealth now falls under German rule, and the remaining armies have been ordered to stand down. Yeah, you do it, man. You do it. Play Purple Haze. Oh, this is his room. Oh. Not a good way to stack cabinets, but I feel like he's supposed to be like the Jimi Hendrix. These are definitely like interesting. Like none of them are like kind of boxy. They're more, and they don't have too many knobs. Let's see. That's a Gibson. That's an acoustic. Yep, he's left-handed. You can tell. That's a left-handed acoustic. L guitar. Yeah, so they're probably Mexican made. As usually any good guitars are.
Workbench. Don't think Guitar Boy would mind if I borrow it.
So this is probably where you can edit stuff, maybe. Oh my god. Armor upgrade. A lot of speakers in this room too. Like none of these are like Vox models. They're like their own separate, like, probably to keep away from other copyright, because they're already using two Gibsons. Wait. Ah, sun, kind of like a sunburst, and this one's kind of like a wooden finish. Sorry, I'm talking about guitars. Weird thing there. Okay. So I'm guessing this is where we have all our food. Locked. Downstairs is probably, yep, locked. Locked. That's probably where you get all your information. That's about it.
Max, ich suche schon die ganze Zeit nach dem Hammer. Hast du ihn gesehen?
Model BJ Blazkowicz 1960. No. I don't have that model yet. I don't think that's what I look like.
Oh, it's so good to be home, Captain.
That's good.
You know, I think I might need to catch some Z's. Yep.
Is he gonna fall on the floor?
I'll see you when I wake up, okay?
Okay, bud. Hey, man.
There's a lot of Nazis out there we gotta deal with.
Hey, man,
Nazis.
it's better to not sleep on your left side. That can cause a lot of heart problems. I'm just saying, okay. God, I have to hear him snore. Tools. Hope he doesn't start, like, masturbating.
Well, that seems to be in order.
The Nazis are coming! They heard us flush the toilet. Tools. Tool. I got a tool. I got some tools. Oh. Trying to build their own version, maybe. It's very well built. I'm taking them a while to, like, you know what I mean? Do I get my own bed? Yay! That's nice. That's a nice little Easter egg. I bet there's like a ton of Easter eggs in here, but that's a nice one. I like that. This is probably for like some later mission. Alright. Okay, go back down here. Ow! Oh. For Berlin, London, May 15, 1953. It's fair to say there's some sort of poetic justice in this. Reports from our resistance friends in Berlin suggest that a new type of mold spore has started infecting structures made out of the super concrete used by the Rigum. It has started fencing the massive underground ventilation system and is spread throughout the city. Friends of the resistance, this could be a major advantage for us. The mold seems to corrode the stability of the concrete, making it easier to destroy structures that are important to the Nazis. The Nazis. Oh my God! Is there just notes everywhere? Hey, don't you be masturbating in there? Not until I leave the base, man. It's probably like all developers of the game. It probably repeats several images too. Okay. Okay, so this one. Atoro is the terror threat over. Berlin, October 13th, 1960. A strange feeling of serenity comes over me as I walk my morning along theLune. At first, I struggled to understand what this feeling comes from and why. I haven't felt it for so long, and then it hits me. For the last 6 months, there have been no terrorist activity, no ruthless killing sprees against innocent civilians, no car bombs in peaceful neighborhoods, no suicide attacks on public transports. Has the secret police once and for all won the war against terrorism? No. Oh my gosh. How many notes do I have to read, man? This whole episode is just going to be me reading notes. Oh my goodness. Regard China borders. Shanghai, October 25th, 1953. Thanks to the German engineers, the Great Wall of China has been reinforced and upgraded by our beloved German liberators. Hundreds of powerful automatic flak cannons have been installed along the wall, guarding the airspace from any potential invaders from the Mongolian traders. Elite German troops have also been stationed from one end to the other to guard the border. This is a great act of generosity bestowed by our benevolent liberators, symbolic marking the beginning of a new era of peace in Asia. How nice. America loses Navy supremacy? Tokyo, August 2nd, 1946. The Americans are on their knees. Field Marshal Franz Gustav Burroughs told the gathered reports during today's press conference. Superior German submarine fleet, accompanied by its loyal Japanese allies, has helped Germany achieve a major victory in the Pacific, with more than half of the American fleet destroyed at the Battle of the Goof alone. Now, what an interesting name. I probably butchered it, but oh well. America rises from the ashes. The American spirit rises in the shadow of the mushroom-shaped cloud that was produced by Germany's evil atomic bomb when it hit New York. Jeez. Cells of freedom fighters have assembled across the country and are taking up the arms through targeted attacks on German VIPs and bombings of crucial military installations. American resistance is making its very making it very difficult for the invaders to remain in control. Reports claim the German invaders have become so desperate they are shipping elite anti-rebel units from China to prevent the spreading. Eyewitness accounts also describe mass civilians punished for attack performed by the freedom fighters. The liberation of America has begun. Washington, January 7th, 1949. The Honorable German peace troops embarked on a nationwide victory tour this week. The goal of this operation is to liberate the opposed American people and protect them from dangerous insurgent elements. All remaining American military personnel are advised to stand down and report to the nearest German checkpoint. Once there, they will be issued a labor card assigning them to work on rebuilding the country according to the superior critical standards of new Nazis. Editorial: Germany has betrayed us. Rome, October 13th, 1949. And so we must face the bitter truth. We, the Italian people, have been fooled into thinking that our northern ally would be our country's salvation and a collaborator in rebuilding Italy in its former glory. Reports from the north are coming in describing German tanks and infantry turning against our soldiers and attacking our own people. Witnesses describe horrible scenes of the whole villages burnt and plundered. We are now just days away from a complete invasion, and our weak government is incapable of doing anything about it. I advise all Italians not to surrender. Do not bow down to the will of your invaders. Rise and take up arms. Do whatever you can to fight back from the tyranny. Rise for freedom. This is a room. I want to go back to the guy playing guitar, man. That was interesting. Alright. America surrenders. Washington, December 24th, 1948. Speaking to the American people in the falling snow on Christmas Eve, the President of the United States declared the government's total surrender to the German army. The announcement comes just days after the atomic bomb was dropped on New York. This final act of violence may have saved millions of lives that would have resulted from land invasion of America, said the German leader in a press statement following the announcement. I applaud the president for taking such a brave decision. After the president's speech, a spectacular show was put on by the invading troops, parting down the streets of Washington to the roaring sound of German jet fighters passing by the overhead. Even more spectacular was the massive mechanical beast known as Panzerhunden, or armored dogs, hulking over the crowds. Japan pushed back. Another threat approaches. I have no idea how to say that, so I'm not going to butcher it. March 7th, 1948. It was a proud moment for the Republic of China and the People's Liberation Army as the Japanese were pushed back into the Hebrew province. Yet from the north, another dark menace approaches at a swift pace. The German army has overthrown the brave Russian Empire and is now moving towards China. During a rousing speech earlier today, the chairman spoke of his faith in the Chinese people. An unfilled China cannot be defeated, he said, and China cannot be conquered. China will not surrender. What I don't understand is why didn't everybody just attack why didn't everybody just attack Germany? I don't. Okay. Anyways, let's read this little piece. Atomic bomb hits America. Paris, December 21st, 1948. Largest bomb ever invented was dropped 13 hours ago on New York City, largely Manhattan, and killing over 200,000 people. It's an atomic bomb, said our great leader in a radio broadcast speech to the public. 20,000 times more powerful than the biggest bomb ever created before. But more than a bomb, this is a warning to the American people. Oh my god. The Nazi Beatles! Die Karfer das Blue Yabu. Jaja. When it was formed by 4 English men from Liverpool. Oh my God! I knew it! It's the German Beatles! It's the Nazi Beatles! By 4 Englishmen from Liverpool in Nazi-controlled Great Britain, they were faced with a choice: either start singing in German or face banning and determined by the Nazi. Hold on. Kafer? Is Kafer like Beatles? And like they're doing, you know it's Beatles when they're doing like the classic Abbey Road, like the Beatles versus the controversy over Nazi Beatles. What? There's controversy over this? Hold on, I want to listen to one of their songs. If it will load. Hold on. Oh. Hold on, I just want to listen. Here, we'll be right back.